Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, January 24, 2024. April 1 has been officially set for the rollout of government's new road improvement program. Prime Minister Andrew Holness gave the update during a statement to Parliament on Tuesday. SPARK is the acronym for Shared Prosperity Through Accelerated Improvement to Our Road Network. The aim is to modernize secondary, parochial and community roads over the next 3 years. Of the overall $40 billion budget, $20 billion will go towards the repair of main roads that require more than resurfacing and related infrastructure. The next $20 billion will be used to rehabilitate parochial and community roads, with half of that amount divided equally among the 63 constituencies. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says each Member of Parliament will be written to with the specified allocation after an updated register of roads has been completed, outlining the accurate mileage of roads within each constituency. The National Works Agency, NWA, and the Ministry of Local Government will undertake this update, while the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, is tasked with facilitating a formal consultative process with residents.
Members of Parliament, through the CDF, will be asked to organize community consultation by Parish Council Division, with the active involvement of the relevant government agencies to include the SDC, municipal corporations, the NWA, NWC, and the JCF, as well as churches, schools, and businesses. These consultations aim to collect recommendations on the roads to be repaired and their priority order. I anticipate that this consultative process will conclude by the end of March 2024, presenting a prioritized listing of potential road projects organized by constituency.
The Prime Minister says he will update the House on the scope of work at later sittings. In the meantime, he says the establishments of agreements with stakeholders are being considered. Also coming out of Parliament yesterday, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke has tabled the fourth supplementary estimates for the 2023-2024 financial year, which ends March 31. It reflects a $2.5 billion reduction of the approved budget.
The fourth supplementary estimates propose total expenditure of $1,091.8 billion, a reduction of $2.5 billion on the approved budget following submission of the third supplementary estimates. This reduction is mainly due to an estimated shortfall in revenues for the fiscal year as compared with the third supplementary estimates.
Dr. Clarke says it provides for the reallocation of resources, adding that funds which cannot be spent in the remaining 7 weeks have been redirected. Jamaica's economic transformation has been hailed by the Financial Times as one of the most remarkable and radical turnaround stories in economic history. The details were published on Friday on the heels of a virtual mission to Jamaica by the International Monetary Fund, IMF. The article highlighted commendations by the IMF on the country's continued ability to reduce debt, stabilize inflation, achieve record low unemployment, and foster growth. The IMF says Jamaica has built a strong track record of investing in institutions and prioritizing macroeconomic stability. This has allowed the country's response to recent global shocks to be prudent, agile, and supportive of growth. According to the fund, Jamaica's sound policy framework is supported by strong revenues and strict control of non-wage spending. Following Friday's meeting, the IMF and Jamaica have reached staff-level agreements on the second reviews of the Precautionary and Liquidity Line (PLL) and the Resilience and Sustainability Facility (RSF). Both facilities, which total over $1.7 million, were approved by the Executive Board in March of 2023. The agreements were subject to approval by the IMF Executive Board, which is expected to consider the reviews in February 2024. The completion of the review will make approximately $255 million available under the RSF. Work is underway to protect and restore the country's mangroves ecosystem through the launch of the Jamaica Mangrove Plus project. The project started late last year and will run until 2027. It is being implemented by the Forestry Department and aims to achieve the conservation of a minimum of 60% of government-owned forested wetlands and 20% of privately owned wetlands by 2062. The project will positively impact 400 beneficiaries directly and another 18,000 indirectly. It is being funded at a cost of approximately $9 million through grant funding from the Global Environment Facility and other co-financiers. Chief Executive Officer and Conservator of Forests Ainsley Henry describes the initiative as groundbreaking.
For the first time in our history as a country, we have taken deliberate and concrete steps to codify strategies and actions geared at guiding our efforts to sustainably manage and protect the wetland forests remaining in Jamaica.
Mr. Henry says the project was developed through a collaborative process with all wetland forest stakeholders and is strategically aligned with the National Mangrove and Swamp Management Plan. The Jamaica Mangrove Plus project is being carried out under 3 components: the National Mangrove Policy Strengthening, Mangrove Ecosystem Restoration, and Knowledge Management and Project Minority and Evaluation. Project manager Nicolene Whiteley says that between 2017 and 2021, there was a net loss of 16.9 hectares of mangroves, despite efforts to recover 2.7 hectares. But she insists that despite the environmental challenges facing Jamaica, there is hope.
A significant portion of lost mangroves in Jamaica is estimated to be potentially restorable. However, recent losses emphasizes the urgency of effective conservation and restoration initiatives to address the ongoing challenges.
The project aims to achieve this by making the necessary changes to policies, creating a more conducive environment for mangrove sustainability, and raising awareness among relevant stakeholders about the significance of mangroves. Strategies will also include creating and popularizing maps to illustrate wetland forests, proposing zones and areas under consideration for preservation and restoration, and developing a dedicated website to provide real-time updates on the status and management of wetland forests. There will also be designated areas for protection and rehabilitation and restoration of degraded areas. And finally, the Ministry of Sport has committed $300,000 in support of special athletes over the next 4 years. The pledge was made by Portfolio Minister Olivia Grange last week at the symbolic signing of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with Special Olympics Jamaica. The agreement is in support of the Special Olympics Global Leadership Coalition for Inclusion. Under the MOU, there will be increased collaboration between the Ministry and Special Olympics Jamaica to improve the lives of individuals with and without intellectual disabilities using inclusive education through sports. As for the $300,000, Minister Grange says it is to support the work of the coalition over the 4-year period. The Sport Minister says the commitment will include an advocacy role for the coalition and providing opportunities for the Special Olympics movement to have a platform for wide engagement. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.